HarperCollins presents The Couple at Causeway Cottage by Diane Jeffrey. Read by Hannah Kelly Turner. In loving memory of my grandfather, Granda Tom, I have so many fond memories of you in Belfast, Ballycastle and Devon, some of the settings for my book, that it seemed fitting to dedicate this one to you. He who seeks revenge should remember to dig two graves. Asian proverb, attributed to Confucius. Chapter 1. It's only when I'm on the ferry, minutes before arriving, that it hits me how isolated I will be. Standing on the deck, using my hand to shield my eyes from the sun, I glimpse the island for the first time. The cliffs, imposing and impressive, even from a distance. Then the port, a speck bobbing in and out of view, becoming bigger and more distinct as we approach. Until now, I've only seen images of Rathlin from Googling it. A map of a small island, shaped like a boomerang or an upside-down sock. Pictures of its two churches and its white seafront cottages, as well as, and this was the clincher when Mark tried to talk me into moving here, numerous photos of seals and birds. When I announced I was going to live on a tiny island I'd never been to before, everyone was astonished. I still can't believe it myself. But new home, new start. The decision wasn't as rash as it sounds. As I explained to my friends, my dad was from Northern Ireland, so it feels a bit like going back to my roots. And it's familiar territory for Mark. He grew up 8 miles away in Ballycastle, where he recently secured a place for his mother in a nursing home. It was the best thing to do. The only thing to do. But he's riddled with guilt. An only child who has lost his father, Mark is very close to his mum. I can certainly relate to that. It's only natural he should also want to be close to her geographically, especially as she's so ill. At the time, it felt like the right decision for me too. The right move. For several reasons. I mentally ticked them off on my fingers as I tried to curb the uneasiness swelling inside me. Thumb. I grew up in Devon, and I miss the ocean. Index. I was desperate to escape the frantic rhythm of London. Middle finger. I've always wanted to be an outdoor photographer. Wildlife or landscapes. Rathlin will provide the perfect playground for me to pursue this goal. Ring finger. With its tight-knit community and tiny primary school, Rathlin Island strikes me as an ideal place to bring up our children when they come along. Little finger. The smallest digit on my hand, but an important consideration nonetheless. Both Mark and I needed to get away from his ex-wife. But enumerating all the advantages of this move does nothing to allay my agitation. I'm out of sync with the calm sea. Mark, show me the photos of our house again, I say. You'll see it with your own eyes in a few minutes. He hands me his mobile, an amused look on his face, clearly mistaking my jitteriness for excitement. The estate agent showed Mark around the house while he was over 3 months ago, visiting his mother who has dementia. He took lots of photos, and I swiped through them on his phone so many times I can visualize in detail the place I'll call home from now on. But I had to make do with a virtual visit of the 3-bedroom detached cottage we bought. It doesn't have a garden, but neither of us is green-fingered. And with it being so close to the beach, that didn't bother us. We'd initially been looking for a house on the mainland, but when Causeway Cottage went up for sale, our plans changed. Mark has always had this romantic notion about living on an island, and this was the chance of a lifetime. It was the only suitable place for sale on Rathlin. The others were new builds, social housing, so we had to snap it up quickly. I was terrified we'd be gazumped. A word I didn't even know before Mark made a verbal offer on the house, and delighted when all the paperwork was finally signed and Causeway Cottage was officially ours. But it feels disconcerting now, moving into a house I've only ever seen in photos. Is it because I don't like the idea of living in a house where someone died? I shudder, then berate myself for being morbid. I'm on my way to a beautiful island where I'll be living the dream. It's not like I'm being ferried across the River Styx. I give Mark back his mobile. He smiles at me, his turquoise eyes blazing in the sun. A rictus stretches across my face as I force myself to smile back. The finish line's in sight, Mark says, as we make our way to the car, which is laden to the hilt with our mattress strapped to the roof rack. His Northern Irish accent is already more pronounced, even though he hasn't talked to anyone except me since we left London. As Mark starts up the car and drives slowly off the spirit of Rathlin and onto the island itself, I sigh with relief. We travelled for nearly 14 hours yet.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?